suit. Oh, exciting day. A little chilly, but exciting nonetheless. Listen, really excited to be here to talk about the G-Train service. We've had the G-Train in the news a lot lately, and this today is an exciting day. The G-Train is one of our more unique lines. It's the only line that doesn't go through Manhattan. It's also the only line that has 5 cars other than a shuttle that runs in our service. And now it'll be the second line to get the open gangway cars. Really excited about this opportunity. The open gangways offer a unique experience for G-Train riders. Everyone that's taken the G-Train knows the experience of hustling down the platform to make that train. You get to the last car of the train, and then the train is just a little bit crowded at that one last car. No more. The open gangways are open from end to end, so customers have the ability to walk from one end of the car to the opposite end to where there's space. Really excited about that, and the G-Train riders, the 160,000 of them, are going to benefit from this. It's not just the fact that they're open gangway, but they are more reliable. Anyone that knows me knows I talk about how do we improve safety, how do we improve service. The R211 open gangways are the answer to that. They are running more reliably. They have larger doors themselves to allow for more people to enter and exit. Would you know that the cars, the open gangways that operate on the C train, R211As, both have 15% less time for customers to board at stations than the older car classes because of how wide the doors are. So really excited about this new opportunity for our riders to be able to get on and on board our trains safer and faster. They also provide for improved accessibility, better lighting, and of course, better cameras. The R211s have an amazing ability to be able to capture several different viewpoints to make sure our customers are safe, and we're able to communicate. We're able to record everything that happens on the R7 line, on the R211 cars. So if Jano was here, he would tell you that the G-Train is near and dear to him. It's where he grew up, and so we have an obligation to take care of the folks who are partners and Jano's in love with. So G-Train is really, really personal for most of the people. Even Bill Amorosa has a special affinity for the G-Train. We did a lot of work with the G-Train over the summer, particularly to improve upon the safety and service for the shutdown itself. And so one of those commitments that we did at that point was to improve service. So happy to be part of doing that right now. So big catch line for G-Train riders, the OG is going to the G. With that, I'm going to introduce Councilmember Shahana Hanif. Say a few words.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. The G-Train on the Church Avenue line is my home line. Grew up in Kensington. I was around for the inception of the G-Train on this line, and I'm just so excited to welcome this modern open gangway trains. It'll make our ride as users more comfortable, more efficient. And you know, I'm an avid subway rider. I take trains and buses to get around the city as an elected official, and it makes me really proud to know that these changes, these transformations are coming to our communities. This is a public health issue. Having safe trains, working trains is so, so important for our community. And I just look forward to more opportunities across our city to be able to serve all New Yorkers. But I'm super, super excited that our Kensington residents all the way to Court Square will have this opportunity to get around from Brooklyn to Queens. So thank you all so much.
All right. So what can you expect to see?
Questions?
I was just going to give one more thing.
Please.
What can you expect to see? So, starting today, you'll have one G train in service. Tomorrow, you'll have two. Within the next 2 months, you should expect to see another 2 trains. So it'll be 4 trains within the next 2 months. And if Tim was here, he would say, go ahead.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Do a few questions. All right, Barbara Russo Lennon from AM New York is here.
Hi, Demetrius. Do you know which lines will be next for getting these open gangway trains?
So we're going to continue. The New Capital program has a bunch of R211s, of which some will be open gangway, but we're not really sure exactly where we're going to place them yet, so we have some time to still decide.
Thank you.
All right, Samantha Liebman has a question from New York 1. Sam.
The track defect on the G train, has that been fixed, and will it affect these trains where the wheels are going to have problems and have to be pulled out of service?
So I'm not really sure which track defect. I could give you more information about it.
Was it the thing with the wheels? The wheel issue.
The wheel issue. All right. So, I'm sorry. Would you mind just repeating the question for me?
Maybe Evan should ask this question. But there was a defect in the track, and you guys had to pull some of the newer cars. The subway trains off the G train because of this defect, because it was damaging the wheels. Have you rectified that situation? Because obviously these are very expensive new trains that you don't want to damage.
Right. So less of an issue for the cars themselves. The issue is not a defect on the cars, and it's not specifically affecting more of the new tech cars than the older cars. We're still working with engineers to get a definitive cause for it. In the interim, we've done track repairs in several different locations. We have a couple consultants that we're working with to narrow down the area. We believe that we are right on track to getting it resolved. But the number of cars that we've been putting in service has been enough to be able to make our full service. So the work that the team has done as of late to be able to do wheel repairs has been absolutely fantastic to maintain our level of service.
All right, since he was name-checked, we got to go right to Evan Simko Bednarski of the New York Daily News. Evan.
Hey, Demetrius. So I 2 quick questions. One is to sort of maybe come at that from another direction, which is to say, I know a bunch of the R160s were taken off of the G line to supplement QBL as you try to fix that issue. My R68 got me here just fine today, but I know some of my readers are wondering if they can still expect to get the newer cars back on the G line this month, the R160s that have been swapped out.
So the plan at this point is just to introduce the 2 R211 open gangways, and then within the next 2 months, you'll have an additional 2 trains. That will be a considerable large proportion of the fleet. And then the goal is over the next over the next capital program, the R211s that we will be getting, a portion of them will come to the G line, as that will be one of our CBTC lines in the future. So we will have nothing but all new tech cars in the future on the G.
And I know that initially the plan had been to cycle one of the R211Ts that had been on the C line, split it in 2, have that be 2 contests here on the G, contests here on the G. The additional 2 trains that are due to come soon, are those also going to be taken from the C line, or are those going to be new trains?
So what we've been doing on the C is we've been introducing the R211As. So both the A line and the C line have been getting R211As, and the T car, the open gangway car, is what's coming to the G train. Yeah.
All right, let's go to America's reporter Dave Colon, everybody, from Streets Blog. Dave.
That's America's legal expert, or America's congestion pricing expert. Hi, Demetrius. Congestion relief. Well, we all have our words for it. I guess I'm curious. Subway ridership in February was higher this year than it was in February last year, even though there was 1 extra day in February, continuing the trend of better subway recovery compared to last year. But can you talk about what needs to happen in, say, the capital, like, does the capital plan really need to get funded to keep all of this going? What do you need from it in order to keep this recovery happening?
Yeah. So, I'm always a big proponent for talking about the amazing work that the team does to be able to maintain this system. So, every day they're making adjustments to the operation, sending folks, looking at how we could better keep the existing equipment and infrastructure in place. Sometimes it does mean redirecting our assets our resources so that we can better tackle these problems before they come up. But the reality is we need that capital program. You can't have a system that's 110, 115, 105 years old in different areas continue to operate without getting the state of the funds that it needs in order to operate. It's just, you can't expect the same level of service with those type of assets in that kind of condition. We talk a lot about substations and how we have issues. Substations out there, 80 years old, parts 80 years old. Tell me something that's 80 years old in your house, your apartment. It does not work, I guarantee you. And so the amount of effort that we have to put in to maintain these assets, I always give kudos to the team because they just do a fantastic job of doing it, but we need the capital program, no question, hands down.
All right, closing out the proceedings today with the largest mic flag in New York. There he is, everybody.
WNYC.
Ramsey Khalifa from WNYC. Ramsey.
Good morning. So with the summer closures last year for the G train, the MTA said that by 2027, the CBTC would go live. Just wondering what the status is with that. I know there's been some weekend and overnight closures to continue that work. How's that been going?
So it's still going well. The team's been working. All of the actual equipment for the tracks themselves are already out there, laid out. And if you walked around, you see it on the roadbed. So the team's really engaged with trying to make sure we meet that mark. It's an exciting time. I mean, being able to introduce CBTC to the G line is going to be an amazing point. So new cars, new signal system, nothing but good stuff. Looking forward to the G train.
All right, thanks everybody. For those who are watching the live stream, we're going to roll a B-roll package for you. That's coming right now. For those who are here in person, there are a lot of you. We're going to have that first train. The R211 is coming in on the platform right downstairs in about 5 minutes. Thanks everybody. Thank you.